Hi guys, it's Sophie. So today I'm going to be reflecting on my 2017 reading goals and my life aims in general. Yeah, I filmed these in Vlogmas in 2016. And it's going to be interesting. I haven't watched this video back. I'm going to do it in the style of drinking by myself. So I'm going to watch and chat as I go and then pair the two, so hopefully that works. But yeah, let's see how we did. Whilst Christmas isn't even here yet, do you know what, the New Year's just on the horizon? And I thought I'd share some of my 2017 reading resolutions and other sort of bookish, booktube resolutions and a couple of just personal ones as well, and just tell you what it is that I'm looking forward to doing and sort of doing with my reading life in 2017. So we're going to start with my book specific goals. The first one is an odd one, and I think a really interesting one. It's something that's very in keeping with my why I want to read less video, and something that definitely I'm ready for, having decided I'm trying to rush to this 200 at the end of the year just to satisfy that little creature in the back of my brain that tells me I need to meet my goals. My first... Don't tell past Sophie about Around the World. First reading goal for 2017 is actually to have a minimum books read setting as opposed to a aspirational maximum. So I think I would like to read at least, or be reading throughout the year, around a book a week. I think if I was reading less than a book a week, I would feel I wasn't reading enough. So yeah, I achieved this. I set my goal to 52 and I really liked it. I'm going to be setting my goal to 52 every year, regardless of how many books I actually think I want to read as a maximum, because a minimum works so much better for me and lets me use Goodreads basically stress-free. And goal number 2 is that I want 12 of those things to be important books. Okay, so I said I wanted to have 12 as important books. Now, I kind of gave up on this midway through the year. I did actually highlight books that I thought were kind of like life changers as I went through. But I don't think that this actually worked for me, because I was doing it instead of, say, like classics or whatever, but in the end it just meant that I was kind of sitting down and trying to make things more important than they were. Now, when I did my favourite book, I think I had 9, and some of those books were really important to me. Like, I probably think of those 9, probably like 3 or 4 are really important to me, but I think trying to push like important onto something is potentially a bit too heavy. To do. It felt a bit pressured, so yeah, I'm not going to be doing that one again. Now the next goal is one that I think is probably going to be challenging for me, but I think I hopefully will be able to meet that. I want to read a minimum of 30% from people of colour. I don't think I managed this. I'm going to have to really quickly look this up. I think it was in the 20s. Now, I started the year really strong on this, and I was pretty much reading 50-50 for the first sort of 2 or 3 months. And basically when I got to Around the World, that dropped off. Yeah, it's like 20%, so I massively failed that goal. Yeah, when I got undecided I was doing Around the World, I pretty much stopped tracking, or stopped pushing to go and try and find books from people of colour, and that meant I dropped off far under the 30%. That one is a bad for me. I mean, next year I'll be reading a lot more people of colour just because of the nature of the challenge, but still that's a bit disappointing. Now, kind of linked to that last one, I want to read 60% female authors. I don't think I did this either. I think it was close to 50-50. So last year I had 40-60, which is why I made it 60. And in 2017 it turned out as 54% male and 45% female, with the rest being both, or someone who didn't identify with either gender. It's not perfect, but it's only 5% off 50-50. I have tried to plan into next year, like, so that it is fairly well balanced. I think it's going to be slightly male dominated again, but it's far better than 60%. So yeah, I didn't make it to 60, I'm sorry, but I made it. I got another 10%, so I think that's okay. And then my 5th bookish goal is that I want to read at least 5 plays and 5 poetry collections, because I really enjoyed them. I have no idea if I even remembered about poetry and plays. Let me think. I think I made 5 poetry collections, but I don't think I would have made 5 plays. I definitely read 3 plays. I think I read 3 plays and probably 7 or 8. Let's have a look at my summary. Yeah, I read 6 poetry and 3 plays, so I didn't make it on the plays this year. Meh, but I did okay on the poetry. I still think I'd like to read more plays going forward, but I just forgot that I was even supposed to be doing that. I did like the ones I read though. and I think this is going to freak out future Sophie a lot, but I think in 2019 I might try and read the entire works of Shakespeare. It's been kind of floating around in my head, so I may well like do myself over in 2019 and be reading all the plays. Now the next section is booktube goals, and again these are sort of mostly about sort of taking the pressure off rather than putting... Okay, so booktube goals, trying to take my pressure off. Again, like don't talk to past Sophie about what I'm doing. More things on. So goal number 1 is not to stress about the quantity. So in terms of the quantity I'm reading, because I think what I've learned this year, what I've changed, what I've done is actually I like going into depth with things, I like having discussions. Yeah, so I think whilst next year's coming up, this year I haven't stressed about the quantity. I've still read a lot, and I anticipated reading a lot less than I actually did, but I haven't felt at any stage during this year that I had no choice but to be doing something that I didn't want to be with reading, if that makes sense. And I think with 2016 I did feel that, so I think whilst I read more than I was expecting and I'm putting more pressure on next year, actually this year was fine. I think I made that goal. Number 2 is an odd one, but it's actually not to stress about not watching as much booktube as there is. Goal 2, to not stress about watching, I definitely achieved that. I have stopped using my watch later as all the videos that have come out, which is what I was using it for in 2016. So basically I would watch every single video from every single person I was subscribed from, because that's how I'd always done it before. But just because I know more people now and I watch more channels, that just isn't possible. So I've started using it as a way to be like, oh yeah, if I haven't got a second now, chuck it on my watch later, rather than it being each and every single video, and it's made that element of my booktube life so much less stressful. Goal number 3 would be to continue to make at least 1 video each week. I think that seems workable. 52%. Yeah, so I definitely made at least a video a week. That was really easy. Most of the time I've made 2 videos a week with a few exceptions, but then I've also had a few times where I've made more than that a week, like this week. So yeah, I think pretty much I've doubled the aim for that. And I think, you know, that's absolutely fine. I think 2 videos a week feels comfortable, 3 would feel like a push for me. Well, number 4 would be to keep attending real life book things. So there's Bristol, which is close. So I've achieved some of this. I've gone to booktube meetups, but do you know what, I've been crap at going to real life book stuff. I really have. And I've been invited to a lot of things that I've been really excited to go to, and like I felt so lucky that like someone said, would you like to go to this? And I've turned down so many things, and a lot of it is because often with these events, they're in London, but the notice is quite short. It might be like a couple weeks. Now, just because of my distance, if I need to go to London, I need to book the day off work to get down there. And it's like normally like £100 to get down. And just like pairing the two, it makes it quite hard. And like one thing I really wanted to go to, which was Jen's book launch, was on the day of my driving test, and I'd failed it that morning, and I just couldn't face it, and I couldn't pay for that as well as all my lessons, which is a real shame because they're things I really love to do, and I really would like to be able to have the ability to go to more of these things. And I don't know, maybe it's just a case of needing to try and save some money up so that then I have like a little pot that I can pull into and spend to be able to go, because a couple, you know, like £100 if you're not expecting it in a month is kind of a bit like, oh, I've got to spend a lot of money. It's not as though I'm just popping off on the train for 20 minutes, and it's like 3 hours each way. So I really want to do more of that. It might be a case of me trying to see more of what's available in my local area, but it has been a real shame. It's one of the things I wish I could have done this year and just haven't been able to. I've still been going to like booktube meetups and stuff and making the time for them, and I absolutely love them, so yeah, definitely want to keep going to those. But it's one that I think it's good that you guys know about. I'd really like to try and hit 5,000 subscribers next year, like in the year of 2017. The last goal was that I wanted to hit 5,000 subscribers. I smashed that. I've got 7,500 now, which is amazing. I don't know how many I had when I filmed this. Shall we listen and try and find out? I'm like 3,600-ish at the moment. Yeah, 3,600, so like it's pretty much been a year, and there's been like, I've basically doubled the size of my channel, more than doubled the size of my channel, and yeah, I'm really proud of that. I filmed a lot of videos, I filmed through a lot of shit that's been going on this year, and it's been really hard sometimes to make myself film, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I've done really well with the channel, so I'm really proud of that one. And my next goal is going to be 10,000, so that's great. That is the number in my head when I first filmed my very ever first video, that I was like, the biggest I would ever be able to get in the whole of my life would be that number, and that was like my pipe dream. So to know that that's like the next milestone, like fingers crossed. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, it's really cool. So yeah, I absolutely blew that one out of the water and I'm really proud of myself. So yeah, those were my resolutions from 2017. It's a really bit weird to watch it back because I guess you don't normally think back about what you wanted a year ago. Or I don't anyway. I'm not going to make a like 2018 resolutions video this year. I do have some, but they're more like goals for myself. So yeah, rather than reading stuff, the only reading one I have is Just Around the World, which you guys already know about, so I'm not going to labour that point again. Hopefully you've enjoyed seeing me react to myself, and yeah, let me know which goals you made in 2017 that you made and any ones you didn't make, any ones that by the end of the year just weren't relevant for you anymore, and I'll see you guys soon in my next video. Bye!